Hey guys, today I'm going to do a little demo about smoothing out your coil vessel. This is not my whole vessel. I have built up 3 coils, the pinch pot, and 3 coils. And I would not really recommend smoothing it out until you've built up at least 3 coils. Sometimes the day that you stack those coils, it might still be a little too wet to smooth because we want to smooth the surface without terribly deforming it. So if it feels real wet, you might want to wait to smooth it till the next day on the wetter coils. But I generally suggest smoothing once you built up about 3 coils. So I'm going to show you how to smooth. As I said in my last video, a good technique is not pinching it like crazy because that deforms it and makes it brittle and dry. Another thing not to do is just to take slip or water and just rub a whole bunch all over the surface. It's going to feel smooth when you do that, so it seems like, yeah, I'm smoothing it out. But what happens is all that stuff starts to sink into your clay, and it gets more and more weak, basically, and softer, and it's not going to hold the coils that you make as you go. Now, if you got a lot of cracks and it's really, really dry, you could rub a little water on the surface. But if it's just a regular wetness of clay or a little drier, I wouldn't do that. So this is my technique for smoothing. There's a lot of different techniques out there. This is just what works, I think, the best with the tools that we have at the moment and the way I've been teaching it. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to take my knife, and I'll actually take like not the tip of it, but that round part, and I kind of diagonally create, see if I can get that in there, like lines that are like breaking up the coils. So I'm just breaking that surface. Doesn't look very smooth right now, I know, but that's going to make it easier to smooth. I'm kind of just breaking up the surface so that those coils aren't so evident. So that's what that looks like now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the credit card tool and I'm going to finish that smoothing off. Now the credit card tools, I do have these for you to use. If you can get your own and bring your own, that would be awesome, because that's less sharing that we have to do and less disinfecting in between classes, and you don't have to worry about sharing with anyone. You got your own. So if you have any kind of an old gift card, this one's from Home Chef, or any kind of old gift card, even an old ID card works, that you can use, then you have your own, and that's awesome. But anyway, I'm going to take that, and for now I'm going to take this side of it, and I'm just going to skim that across and smooth it out. And you'll kind of get an understanding of how hard you got to press for this. So that's what I got so far. Now some people like to even just kind of skim it with their finger. That's fine as long as you're not, gouging it too hard or anything. But now I'm going to just kind of try going side to side. And as you can see, that took about a minute, less than a minute. I really got that one area real quickly. I got it very, very smooth. I'm being careful not to thin this out too much, because if it gets too thin or if it gets deformed, that's going to be a problem. But just with that little smoothing technique, I really got a very nice, smooth surface there. So I would just do that all the way around. So that would be the first step in smoothing. Now the inside, for these pots, you don't really have to smooth the inside because most of your pots are going to get skinnier and then wider. So you won't see the inside. So what I would say, you're not going to see it. Why does it need to be smooth? If you have like an open vessel of some kind, like some kind of a more open like flower pot or something, maybe then you should smooth the inside because people are going to see that. But otherwise, you don't really have to smooth the inside. In fact, it might actually make it too thin. So I would just smooth the outside, really. But that's, once again, just to refresh, I'm making my lines to break up the surface, and then I'm taking my card and smoothing it out really good. So that's kind of what it looks like. Now there's other steps that we're going to take later on down the road when it reaches that kind of leather hard phase. There's other steps we're going to do to get it really, really, really smooth, even smoother than that. So it's not the end, but that's gonna the goal of this step of smoothing is just to eliminate the look of the coils, so you can't really tell it was coil built. You know, some artists like to leave the coils, they like how that looks, but for these we're going to try to get them nice and smooth, a nice smooth finished look. So that's how we start with that. Okay, that's it. Thanks.